July 10, 1940. The sky above the English Channel turns black as hundreds of German bombers cast their shadows over the waves. This is the Battle of Britain, the first all-air campaign in history, where Western civilization's fate hangs by a thread, defended by just a few hundred brave pilots. But what if tearing through that sky at twice the speed of sound was something no one could comprehend? A Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II dropped into a battle it was never meant to fight. The F-35 looks like it was designed by time-traveling engineers. Its angular body gives it the radar signature of a sparrow. Its packing and APG-81 radar, AIM-120 missiles that delete aircraft from 30 miles away, and a 25mm cannon spitting shells at 3,300 rounds per minute. It hits Mach 1.6, that's 1,200 miles per hour, while the fastest German Bf 109 maxes out at 390 miles per hour. That's like racing a Formula One car against a bicycle. But Hermann Göring's Luftwaffe isn't here to play games. They're bringing over 2,550 aircraft, pilots who just conquered Poland, Norway, and France. Over 1,100 fighters plus 1,200 bombers, the largest aerial armada ever assembled. 50 miles away, the F-35's radar lights them up like a Christmas tree. The pilot sees every aircraft. Speed, altitude, formation pattern. The combat computer calculates intercept vectors. Whoosh! The first AMRAAM launches, accelerating to Mach 4. The missile's onboard radar locks onto a Heinkel bomber. 20 seconds later, boom! The bomber explodes. No warning. No enemy in sight. Just sudden, violent deletion. As far as the Germans know, their comrade was just smited by God himself. German formations start disintegrating. Bombers detonate mid-flight for no visible reason. Fighters spiral into the channel. Radio channels erupt in panicked German screams. Within 10 minutes, 40 aircraft are gone. The escort fighters scatter desperately, searching for an enemy they can't see. German veterans who conquered Europe are now terrified. Hermann Göring, monitoring from his luxury train headquarters, goes ballistic. This has to be British propaganda. He orders an immediate second wave. The F-35 has moved north, lurking at 45,000 feet, 15,000 feet higher than any German fighter can reach. The pilot watches the second wave forming up on radar. Diving from altitude at near supersonic speed, AMRAAMs slam into the bomber formation's heart. Ju-88s disintegrate. Heinkels burst into flames. A Stuka's wing simply falls off. Any pilot who gets close is met with the Lightning's afterburner, allowing it to climb vertically straight out of sight. Any German plane trying to follow would stall on the ascent. By noon, the Luftwaffe has lost over 150 aircraft. The F-35 has taken 0 damage. But even modern marvels have limitations. The F-35 is down to its last 2 missiles and running low on fuel. It's operating in 1940, no GPS, no data link, and definitely no spare missiles. The pilot switches to guns for one final attack. The 25mm cannon turns 2 Dornier Do-17s into aluminum confetti. When the F-35 lands at RAF Biggin Hill, British ground crews stare like they've seen a UFO, which technically they have. The Luftwaffe has lost almost 150 aircraft in a single morning. Devastating. But Germany still has 2,400 more waiting. The F-35 destroyed 6% of the Luftwaffe. Impressive, but not war-winning. The next morning, German bombers return. And the morning after that, the Battle of Britain continues for months, from July through October 1940. The battle was ultimately won by brave pilots in Spitfires and Hurricanes, not by one modern miracle. Britain's radar technology, home territory advantage, and aircraft production eventually outpaced German capabilities. But for one glorious morning, the Luftwaffe got a taste of what it's like to be completely outclassed. The myth of the Ghost of Britain would spread through both militaries, growing with each retelling. Could a modern jet really change the timeline of World War II? Not really. While the F-35 didn't win the Battle of Britain, it sure as hell made it interesting. What do you think would happen? Let us know in the comments. And if you're curious what would happen if a modern attack helicopter fought at D-Day, check out our next video.